You sit down to do something important, just one task. You open your phone for a second, and suddenly it's been 40 minutes. You don't even remember what you were about to do. It's not laziness, because you want to focus. You try again, but your mind keeps slipping from one thought to another, to something completely unrelated. And the strange part is, even when nothing is distracting you, you still can't stay. So the question isn't, why are you distracted? It's, why does your brain keep leaving? It doesn't feel like a big problem at first, just small breaks, quick checks, short scrolls. But over time, those small moments start shaping everything. You begin tasks with hesitation. You delay starting, not because the task is hard, but because it feels heavy, like your brain is resisting it. You open a tab, then another, and suddenly you're not doing anything, just moving, without direction. And slowly, this becomes part of how you see yourself. I can't focus. I'm easily distracted. I lack discipline. But here's the contradiction. You can focus on things that stimulate you, videos, conversations, things that change quickly. So the problem isn't attention, it's what your brain finds worth staying for. And that changes everything. Because now it's not about effort, it's about how your brain assigns value. This isn't a failure of willpower. It's not that your brain is weak, it's that your brain has adapted to a very specific environment. An environment where stimulation is constant, where novelty is always available, where something more interesting is always one swipe away. So your brain learns something. Stay where the reward is, and leave where it isn't. This is not self-sabotage, it's optimization. Your brain is trying to be efficient, trying to maximize reward, minimize effort. But the problem is, the system it's using was never designed for this kind of world. Your brain runs on a simple principle. It follows reward signals, and one of the most important signals is dopamine. Dopamine is not pleasure, it's anticipation. It's the feeling of something good might happen. And when that signal appears, your brain pays attention, moves towards it, repeats it. Now imagine your brain like a prediction engine. It constantly asks, where is the next reward? And it builds pathways based on that answer. Here's the mental model: cue, action, reward, memory. When you check your phone, you don't know what you'll see. That uncertainty is powerful. It creates a strong dopamine spike, because unpredictable rewards are the most addictive. This is the same mechanism behind slot machines, social media, notifications. So your brain learns checking equals possible reward, and over time, it strengthens that pathway. But here's the cost. Tasks like studying, working, reading, they don't give immediate rewards. They require delayed gratification. So compared to fast stimulation, they feel empty. Your brain doesn't register them as valuable, so it starts pulling away. Not because you don't care, but because your brain predicts no reward here. And when that prediction repeats, focus becomes harder, not mentally, but biologically. Then something else happens. Your baseline shifts. This is called dopamine desensitization. When you're constantly exposed to high stimulation, your brain adjusts. What used to feel interesting now feels dull. What used to hold attention now feels slow. So your mind keeps searching, not for meaning, but for intensity. And that's why even silence feels uncomfortable, because there's nothing to chase. You don't fix this by forcing focus. You fix it by retraining how your brain values attention. Reduce unpredictable rewards. What to do? Limit random stimulation, especially phone checking. Why it works? It weakens the dopamine spikes tied to unpredictability. Example: instead of checking your phone any time, you check it at fixed times. Same action, different pattern. Now your brain stops expecting surprise rewards constantly. What to do?
Break tasks into small, visible steps. Why it works? Small progress creates micro rewards, which your brain can recognize. Example, instead of study for 2 hours, you define read 2 pages. Completion gives closure. Closure gives dopamine. What to do? Do the task before the reward. Why it works? It reconnects effort with reward in your brain. Example, no scrolling before work, only after completing a small task. Now your brain links focus to reward. What to do? Sit without stimulation for short periods. Why it works? It resets your dopamine baseline, reduces need for constant input. Example, 2 minutes, no phone, no music, just sitting. It feels uncomfortable. That's the point. What to do? Choose slower, less stimulating inputs. Why it works? It recalibrates your brain's reward threshold. Example, reading instead of scrolling, walking without headphones, letting your mind slow down. Your brain is not broken, it's just following a map built from repeated rewards. The more intense the reward, the stronger the path. The weaker the reward, the less your brain stays. So focus is not about forcing attention, it's about reshaping the map. Every time you delay a reward, you redraw the path. Every time you stay a little longer, you strengthen it. You never were bad at focusing. You were just trained to look somewhere else. In a world that constantly pulls your attention, your brain learned to follow. And that makes sense. But not every signal deserves your focus. Not every reward deserves your attention. And not every urge needs to be followed. Because sometimes the ability to stay in something slow, something quiet, something that doesn't immediately reward you is not a weakness, it's a skill. And it's one you can rebuild, not at once, but moment by moment, choice by choice, until one day your mind doesn't run anymore. It stays.